Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tales from the Forgotten Troop, or Jukebox Justice. If you're enjoying what we're doing, there are many ways to support the show. We have a Beacons page with all of our affiliate links. We have a coffee page, and we have merch on Redbubble. So pick your favorite and do the thing. You can also find all of our social media there, as well as a link to our Discord where you can come and join the chaos all the time. Because we can probably guarantee at least one of us is awake at a time in there. At least one of us is awake at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, we do have weekly streams on Sundays, so you can come and chat with us live. But if you're fine with sticking with the YouTube content, make sure to like whatever video you're watching and subscribe so you can get notified when new videos come out. Other than that, we are... Hopefully Jenna will be joining us later. It's a little up in the air. We'll see. But for now, we can go around and have everyone introduce themselves and who they're playing. And the magical icebreaker that... Oh, this is kind of boring. The magical icebreaker that my random icebreaker generator has given us today. Where do you feel most at home?
Like currently, or?
Probably.
All right. I'll kick it off here because I kind of have an answer to this. Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Crow, alternatively just Crow, and I will be playing Joe Hatathli, aka Watchdog. And I think for Joe, the place he feels most at home. I feel like there's sort of two answers to that. I feel like he feels very at home in Monument Valley, out in Arizona, but I also feel like, at least up until recently, with Henry has also been an answer to that.
Fucking knew it.
Till recently.
As for me, my room. I exist in, like, 2 rooms at a time. I'm a homebody.
You just say I've existed in 2 rooms at a time. I'm just thinking there's a clone of you, and each of you is just in a room. So you're just simultaneously existing in 2 different rooms.
Nah, I'm like a, what's it called? The metaphysic particle. I just exist in 2 separate locations at the same time.
Spooky action at a distance. I know it's not quite that, but...
Other me is doing dishes.
Fair. That would be useful.
Yes.
God, yeah, I would like
so
that.
Useful.
Just
rotate who does laundry and who goofs around.
Yeah.
You see, we're technically the same person, but we're existing on the same timeline simultaneously up until the point we recoalesce, at which point, like, all the gathered experiences come together.
Fair enough. I'm Brianna, and I play Cynthia Evans, otherwise known as Echo. And I'd say the place that she feels most at home would probably be Hecate's base, since that's where she spent a very substantial amount of her childhood. For me personally, usually wherever I'm living eventually just feels like home. It's more feeling comfortable in a spot and the people around you than the place for me.
I'll go next. I'm Tess. I play Sylvie, aka Valkyrie, aka Sigrun, as we found out. And I think up until recently, again, Sylvie was most at home at the base, specifically because there were parts of all of the girls there, but now she's very much unsure of everything, including herself. Even more so now. So I think home's kind of up in the air right now. And I don't know how that's gonna eventually play out. I'm probably gonna, for my personal thing, copy Bree. Mine's more about the people and who's around me. I think I'm gonna be really sappy and say it's mostly with my girlfriend, but it's really hard right now, seeing as there's an ocean between us, but yeah, I think
A literal ocean,
Yeah,
right?
literally.
Yeah.
Literal
Okay.
ocean.
Yeah.
Just double checking. I was like, I'm fairly certain she means a literal ocean, but also
Yeah.
that's like a common metaphor. So I'm like,
No, it's literally an
In this
ocean.
case, not a metaphor.
A literal ocean and several states.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
states of existence that I'm occupying.
I'm Maria. I play Elena, aka Easy Living. Easy Living feels most at home wherever the girls are. That's wherever she's home. Which
Aw.
yeah, that's nice.
Sweet.
My answer is also probably mostly the same. It's wherever my people are. Which is usually in my house, since, you know, two of us live together.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Let's go ahead and add a team to the pool. Start using your team. There's 20 in there. That's
Give us
way too many.
opportunity to use team.
There haven't been too many opportunities lately. We're all in different places.
Bye.
I've been keeping an eye out for it. Like I've been trying to spend this stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just like
It's
the
also
dice have not been cooperating.
You've also had a lot of big emotional moments recently instead of
Also true. Also true.
punch things in
fair
the face
mechanical
moments.
Well, I have no idea how things are gonna go tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
I found a post-it that I left for myself, I think in the middle of last week's session. So, zero prep work behind it, but I might throw that in. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Previously, Jukebox Justice. Joe and Eugene went to investigate the remains of the hairspray factory, which were now a construction site. They weren't able to get inside to see if anything was hidden underground, but Joe did find a badge that said the place was Jefferson Research Industries, and it gave access to the R&D department. As they made, this is gonna be one of those nights. As they made their way back to base, Joe called Tony. Well, I guess before they made their way back to base, Joe called Tony to tell him they were going to introduce the two Roxys to each other. Joe also tried to convince Tony that he should tell Roxy about being a werewolf, but Tony didn't seem swayed by his reasoning. Once the group met up, things went a bit better than expected with the other Roxy not freaking out. When they took a look inside of her brain, they learned that she was the original Roxy and had memories of bringing the contaminated hairspray to the factory, but that was about it. They also asked Tony to take a look inside his head, but didn't find any sign of tampering, even though Echo did see his first werewolf transformation.
I assume you two have discussed that.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Tony's trauma, TM. And of course, we can't forget that as Henry was leaving her parents' house, Reyes stopped her on the sidewalk, but the team doesn't know about that yet. They know. Ah, who knows?
Let's just steal your girl.
I wonder what could be happening there. Yeah.
Slowly building.
So I'm guessing you guys were gonna go back to base. I don't know. We kind of left off at you being at the warehouse
Mm-hmm.
in a group.
That
home.
was my plan, at least.
So, yeah, I presume we leave the DeMarco's +1 to sort out that situation.
Yeah,
Imagine
all the
Roxy
Marcos
and
go.
other Roxy were looking at talking to each other more, so probably.
Yeah. Go talk to the
I'll
family and
explain the situation to mom and dad
surprise.
and the 10 uncles and 20 aunts.
There's two of us now.
50 cousins. But Echo at least was planning on going back to base just to update their list, if nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go back to base.
Yep. And I think we had said Sylvie was at base.
I'm guessing Sylvie's at base.
Yeah, sure. Yes. That sounds right.
It's fine. Sylvie's at base processing through existential crises. But
Sylvia and
that's
Freya are
sweet.
there.
Yeah.
Slowly making their way through all the ice cream containers.
The ones we left behind.
is Sylvie also suspiciously looking at that one corner that Freya kept on staring at? Yes. because she doesn't trust it.
Fair.
Is that our equivalent of the Critical Role chair? It's just the one
corner.
detail the GM threw in, and we're just like, the corner.
A cat doing the most cat thing ever and
A cat
staring.
being a cat, and then suddenly
Yeah.
everyone is like, I know, I don't trust it.
But this is a special
It's
cat.
But
so
it's
that must
also
be
a
bad
good.
fake
and
cat,
wrong.
and we've
It's the
had
dog.
invisible shit. So
That's also true.
Also true, yes. Yeah, so I think we'll go back to base.
You can get there, and Sylvie's inside with Rhea.
As we're sort of coming back to base, I think Joe would sort of get Cynthia's attention. So, what now?
Well, Roxy's need to work out whatever they're doing. So walks over to the chalkboard and crosses out the current Roxy issue and just writes a question mark next to it. Until they've sorted that out, we can't track down the facility. So that's for a later problem. What else do we have on here? Werewolves. Fae shenanigans, arguably lower priority right now. Unclear.
Yeah.
I think we have other things, but in my head I am not remembering what they are, but they would be on the whiteboard. Or not whiteboard, chalkboard.
The sword whip guy.
Yeah, sword whip
yes.
guy.
Sword whip guy and, well, the registration.
Associated memory problems.
Yes, and the registration. How
Vote.
many days do we have left on that one?
Oh, it was like announced yesterday, so we've got
Okay,
like
so
29 more
I'm like,
days.
I don't remember how many days we have.
It's only been like 1, 2, maybe 3 days.
Okay.
And we need to retrieve our rock friend from the warehouse and probably set him free.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we
That should
do
probably
that.
be first.
Me and Sylvie can handle that if
Alright.
you wanna.
We can't do anything with sword whip guy because that might be a whole other dimension problem again.
Also true.
And I don't
I
think we
mean-
should go in unprepared this time.
I think Joe would sort of look over at Spuds, who I presume came back with us.
Yeah, unless you
Just
sent him off.
walking tour of the city. He's kind of it's like, nah, I got tourist shit to do, guys. Bye.
Spuds, if we were to try to chase after this guy who stole the meteorite, could you, I don't know, make sure that we don't lose months in this world this time?
I think that's
that-
more of a physics thing than
I
magic.
could see if Tex Arcana has any information on that, because Miss Easy Living is correct. That would be more just the separate realities moving at different speeds and what caused it rather than. So it'd be a little more difficult trying to get you to come back through the same exit point, so to speak. Say the exact day and time.
Okay.
We might be
So-
able to develop an anchor, but could take some time. There's no real guarantee of success. We
If
also
this is,
don't know if this other reality is moving at a different speed.
Also true, I guess. But I guess if this is a math weirdness thing, then I don't know, would Hecate possibly have something that might help us? She's the one who gives you all your gear, right?
I'd make a solid amount of it.
Could you make something then?
I can hit the books. There's been some I was looking at what happened while we were gone, and there were some interesting talks on theoretical physics. So read up on that a little bit.
Might be somebody at the university too.
Also true.
We can see if Henry can ask around while she's there for classes.
Can also see if Hecate knows anyone who's got any experience with this kind of thing.
That sounds like something we could do.
She's also been looking into a few things, so she might have turned up some information.
And Dad, I've been running you ragged all day. If you just want to take a load off.
It's not been too bad. Kind of fun. Lot going on.
All right. Sort of turn to Sylvie. I don't think what sorry, remind me, what was the stag's name now again?
Toby.
Toby. I don't think Toby's gonna let me ride side saddle here, so just want to walk in civilian mode, maybe?
Sure.
All right.
If anything goes weird, radio.
Of course.
Of course.
And I sort of glances at Sylvie and then back to Cynthia. I owe you an explanation, and I will give you one. I just need to figure some things out first, okay?
Take your time. I've got other problems.
Yeah. I think that goes for all of us at this point.
Just a bit.
Except maybe you, Elena. You seem pretty stable.
I mean, for now. I haven't technically met Vati yet. He could be evil super villain or something.
I feel
Also
like
true.
there might be a brief flash of concern over Sylvie's face about like Elena speaking about imminent breakdown at some point. But
There's still time.
yeah, she doesn't say anything.
All right. I'll be back
She
in a bit.
does she does click her Freya to jump up on her shoulder though, as we walk out.
Yeah, she'll come along.
Portal cat is useful.
That is useful.
Empathy cat.
Hell yeah.
Activate.
Oh, well, they're heading out. Cynthia is going to dig into recent theoretical physics and see if there's anything that could help.
Okay.
I'm gonna call Henry. See if she can ask this at the university.
Okay. Okay. Here's me not knowing anything about science.
If you
Try-
need some techno babble, I am your man.
Bullshit my way through science stuff. Well, the big problem is I don't know what the current state of theoretical physics is at this point in history.
I looked this up a couple
Ah.
of sessions ago. 1 second.
Time to fall down the rabbit hole.
No, it's the wormhole.
Well, general
Maybe.
relativity is definitely established-ish by this point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was 40s, 30s.
Yeah. Where did...
Oh, great. So theoretical
Uh,
physics began in forever ago, like before Plato.
quantum mechanics isn't until later. I'm trying to figure out when string theory actually happened. I think it's more recent. This might be a come back to me kind of thing.
Fair. This is the riveting content people come to us for.
20th century, probably not, honestly, till like, oh, found it, late 1960s.
So coming up on it.
10 more years. We'll get there.
53, I believe, is just around the time when DNA was a thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Given
is
that we have
officially a thing.
superheroes, we can also expedite string theory since it's very
Yeah.
largely based with nuclear power.
Yeah.
We. Hmm. We'll say maybe like we're in the very early stages, the very baby stages of string theory, where it's I don't know where I'm going with this. How do we
Conversely, there could also be like various people who have these sort of reality powers who've either done studies or been the subject of studies, which is a thing that could exist in this world.
We'll say there's some cases of basically like strangers popping into existence. People don't really know where they came from. Like these individuals are largely confused by their surroundings, but they haven't been able to really. So like theories of other worlds, maybe like frozen pockets of time where they
Okay.
just come out of, maybe like some very beginner concepts of other realities, but aren't really sure how it all connects
Yeah, that's fair.
until today.
But yeah, that's what Cynthia's doing.
There's a guy with a sword whip that just cuts holes in reality. That's
Ta-da!
so that is Cynthia's doing. Elena, you try and ring Henry. She does not pick up.
Well, whatever. We'll go help Cynthia. Probably get bored at some point and just start levitating books around. Which I guess counts as helping. That way she doesn't have to go running around carrying a bunch of stuff. But
I could probably also take a break at some point to work on like fine motor control for gravity.
yeah, she'll just float books, levitate stuff, occasionally look and read some things, then see that those words are very big and be like, no thank you.
Okay.
Cynthia like side eyes her at one point, being like, "This could potentially be useful for my physics research," and then it goes back to doing what she's doing.
I was going to major in astronomy. That's physics too.
Fair. Very distant physics, in a way.
Meanwhile, Joe and Sylvie and Freya are headed to the warehouse where Tremor was left.
I don't think Sylvie's had any interaction with Tremor since the battle, so Sylvie has no idea how this is gonna go.
But yeah, I think Joe takes a minute, switches into civilian clothes, puts on like a plain black tee or something. just sort of hands in pockets, sort of starts walking next to Sylvie. And as they're walking down the street, says, "So we should probably talk. Yeah?"
Probably. No, I don't know what answers I necessarily have regarding everything.
I'm more thinking about what answers I should probably provide.
Provide what you need, save for the one rather large choice that I'm not really consulting the girls on. I don't really see another option, and there's no point in getting them upset regarding my decision.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm missing something here. Are you thinking about leaving?
You saw, I think when they were together, you saw, because Sylvie said she was going to break the deal by whatever means necessary.
Right. Okay.
And the implication to Sylvie's understanding is her soul isn't going to survive it.
Okay, winding that
And
back
that's
then.
the only thing that she's asked you not to tell the girls.
Okay. I mean, gonna be honest, it's kind of a big ask. I mean, we're heroes, Sylvie. That's what we do. We hear about trouble and we want to do something about it.
Yeah. If there were any other way. But I went into the deal knowing what it would mean. And as far as I know, none of us really have powers affiliated with whatever metaphysical self we have or exists. And whatever would be shattered by me breaking that deal. So why worry about something we can't change?
I mean, I give it a 50-50 shot that Roxy can't pull something out of her ass.
True. But Roxy has a lot to worry about right now. And I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. I don't plan on leaving you all with all of this shit.
I appreciate that. Give me some time to make up for how much of an ass I've been.
You were working with the information you were given.
I was working on stories.
Sometimes stories are all we have, though. It's not like we've been very forthright about what we are. And I won't lie to you and say that every Fae has the best of intentions.
I gathered that from Thistle. She was cagey at best. But she sort of helped get the ball rolling in regards to me figuring some shit out, I guess. Or figuring out I needed to figure some shit out. Maybe. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. Sometimes the push we need comes from the most unlikely of places, so. And we're not always ready to see that.
I'm sorry. I saw you as anything but human, and after what I saw, I'm so sorry.
You're already forgiven. I never gave you any reason to believe I was anything but the other.
Yeah, fair enough there, I guess.
Sylvie does give a little chuckle at that.
I know there's a lot of questions around what happened after in regards to what happened to you. And for the record, I think if I'd been in a similar situation, I maybe would have made the same choice as you did. I don't know, and honestly, I don't know if the fact that I would do it is a good thing, given I'm sort of working through what I think might be overprotectiveness issues. But I guess looking at it from the angle of you being a person and not something that wants to kill and eat everyone within a 10-yard radius, I get it, I guess.
Well, for the record, you guys are kind of the reason why I'm not something that wants to kill and eat everything within a 10-yard radius.
Yeah, about that, why me? Unless I missed something, at best I've avoided you, at worst I've treated you like shit.
You're
What did I do?
reliable. You're loyal.
Is loyalty not a Fae thing?
Yeah. It's cagey at best.
That makes
You're
sense.
straightforward, you're blunt, you say what you believe. You weren't afraid to call me on my bullshit. It's refreshing to live without looking for the hidden lies and words.
And the funny thing about that is that I was lying through my teeth a lot.
But not about the important things. Not about how you felt about not about how dedicated you were to your cause. Not about how much you wanted to protect us, even if you went about it not the greatest way. I'm not one to judge at all, but we're both learning how to be part of a team and how not to shoulder all of the burdens.
I get that. And I guess I just want to make sure you know that I'm gonna try to do better on that regarding you. Because I'll be honest, up until a few hours ago in my head, it was Elena, Roxy, Cynthia, and then you were on the periphery.
From what I've seen and understood of the stories you grew up with, that's not surprising. But I want you to know that especially going into this potential fight with every single person or every single secret shady organization in this city. I have your back with whatever I can bring to muster.
Same here.
Just as much as I have their backs. You're my teammate. And we're gonna make that Alpha regret ever setting foot in Halcyon.
Oh, I really hope so.
I think Sylvie pats him on the back and says, have a little more confidence. You think the girls are gonna let this being run amok in their city?
I don't think they'll let it happen. Doesn't necessarily mean they can stop it.
I have faith in us. I have faith in you.
Don't really know what I've done to deserve that either.
Sometimes moral strength is more important than anything else. It's not a common thing.
The pain in the ass sometimes is what it is. It'd be easier if I just went along with some things, but
As someone who went along with things for far too long in her life, it's not always the best choice either. You end up finding some really ugly truths underneath, it seems.
don't emphasize offense or defense. Just play the game.
Yeah. Sylvie thinks she understands that reference.
All right. Well, in effort of treating you as a teammate, then please don't kill people.
Yeah, for the record, it's been a couple decades, so, but I get that. Save for the one incident. That was not on purpose. I didn't realize how far the vines went into their body.
I can't scent read you like the others, so I'm going to take your word on that. But, like I said, we're heroes, Sylvie. And at least as far as I'm concerned, heroes aren't judges, per se. We aren't the ones who necessarily decide what's right and wrong. I think that's more up to the determination of just sort of like fans a hand at like the city. It's our job to keep people safe. And that includes all people, even the bad guys.
I'll keep that in mind. Keeping it's a different perspective than what I grew up with, but it's something, well, grew up trained with. So it's my gut instinct was to protect those I cared for before those who were a threat and I reacted in instinct, but
I'm not faulting you for
it
that.
is something that I will go keep in mind going forward to work to preserve life over the instantaneous judgmental reaction.
I mean, if you need any help with impulse self-control, I've kind of been accidentally practicing that for better part of 2 years now. You know, instinct brain and all that.
I'm going to take you up on that. It's not exactly full instinct, it's more of ingrained habit of kill or be killed, but well, the Fae aren't exactly known for their view of human life in some cases. But like I said before that incident, it had been a while since I had followed that path. And I don't intend to return to it. Unless there is a threat that there is no other choice for. And even then, I'll make sure that I consult you or Echo or Hecate regarding the best course of action.
I think I'd start with Echo. She's generally smarter than me.
Yet, Echo isn't exactly speaking to me beyond cold civility.
Right. And I might similarly be in the doghouse. And that wasn't even on purpose.
What happens, happens. I mean, it's one thing I've learned about you, all of you humans, is controlling your anyone else's emotions beyond your own is utterly impossible, even when you have set-based pheromone control.
Tell me about it. It's almost kind of worse for me because I can just like passively pick up on the emotions of everyone around me. Walking through a crowd with the limiters off is it's nuts. So much just anger, fear, happiness, sadness, just all blended together into one giant air soup.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't do dog forms often.
Yeah. It'd be kind of an overload.
Yeah, some are a little overwhelming.
It can be fun though, too. I like to find a high building and just sort of let the limiters down for a little bit sometimes to unwind.
Interesting. Maybe I'll try that sometime, but maybe after we make sure there's no one on high buildings could take us, or that might cause issues.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Much as I hate to say it, I think you might be my accidental secret weapon with that too. Because I'm pretty certain she still needs to breathe.
We can make a note of that, and if it comes to that, figure stuff out. I think sounds like my pheromone control might be something I should probably start working on, seeing as it'll help with a couple situations.
Yeah.
If only trying to figure out how to block one and maybe.
I mean, I haven't really brought it up too much, but I mean, the things Aroma did with her scent, like, if it's anything like your ability, I don't know, weirdly, maybe I could help? Sort of give you directions to work towards?
We can potentially see if there's an overlap enough to figure out how to direct it. In a safe environment, of course.
Of course. Because, I mean, like, yeah, there's, like, the whole making somebody like you or putting them to sleep thing, but, like, she was breaking down my will to resist the alpha's influence at a distance.
I think we gather some information and we can direct how to best train it. And maybe find a way to counter. Either through masks themselves or a blatant area of effect counter.
Just get a smoke machine.
We could probably make one. If we could figure out how to create a neutralizer to mine, it might have some effect against aromas.
Maybe.
Things to test and when we get back to the base. Anything I should know about this guy we're going to visit?
Kind of a grump. Mostly was just mad about the registration. He had a night to cool off. I guess it's been a night and a day now.
Probably hungry.
I dropped off some food for him.
No. Yeah, that's a whole other problem that unfortunately will require more finesse than just punching it in the face.
As much as I might want to do it to the evil bastard.
No, I definitely want to do it to the evil bastard, but I don't think that'll help much, nor is it the catharsis Echo needs in regards to it.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and he's the alpha.
I have so many other concerns if he's the alpha.
Yeah,
Though I will check for black goop next time I see him. Or black soul goop or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's not great. Don't really know how all this magic stuff works. But I mean, if what you're doing is anything like what Spuds was doing, it's pretty cool.
They're similar, not different. Magics have different ways of working. Mine are, in at least from what I understood of them, were intrinsically tied to the Fey realm and the nature of this realm, but throw in a human soul and I don't know what anything means anymore, so.
You think you might have had these abilities as a person then?
I have no idea where my abilities originated. I don't have memories of using them, but I have a handful of days. And maybe the nature of the soul is what determines the Fey abilities. I mean, I've seen quite a vast array of, as well as you. You've seen Thistle had different abilities than me.
Well, she just straight up wasn't even close to human. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
she was, but she was like tiny.
That's true. So maybe not all Fae originated from humans. I don't know. So apparently,
Well, from what I know about how the universe works, my guesses would be either they just kind of are, or I don't know. Guess if you're gonna pull a me move and listen to the old stories, probably came from one of the original worlds. I guess it'd be World 2.
I'd like to hear your stories sometime.
They're not going to be told well. I wasn't actually ever taught how to tell them.
It's more of the act of sharing and learning.
It's a whole thing back home and for, Navajo. Words and stories have power. Talking about certain things can make them true, which is why, I have a tendency to not talk about the things that I don't like.
That makes sense. And I would agree, words do have power. Maybe not always in the way that you think, but they do. What we choose to share and what we choose to omit, what we exchange in moments of feeling, they all have power. And I think there's probably more truth in those beliefs than you fully realize.
You're telling me. I didn't really give them too much thought, and then we moved out here, and I really started questioning shit.
Well, as someone who has lived as long as I have, even when I didn't know better and was still part of the Fae, I was questioning shit. You don't really ever stop.
Boy, what does that say? When the weird parts of the world don't even know how weird the world is.
I think there's just some mysteries that remain to be solved. No one has all the information.
If only.
And may I remind you, you're just starting out. You don't need all the answers.
Hard to remember that sometimes.
Look at the growth you've made since we've become a team. You're opening up to people. You're being You're willing to rely on people.
Honestly, that's more getting to where I started. After the pack, I've been doing things I haven't liked a lot.
Sometimes it's harder to regain ground than make new. That trust once broken isn't always repaired.
Yeah. I got a lot of trust to fix, or at least try to fix. God, I still need to talk with the coach.
One step at a time. Not everything has to get done today.
I don't think there's enough hours in the next week to get everything that needs done today.
Also true. Unless you know someone who knows time magic, which I don't.
Unless Spuds is holding out on us. Don't ask me.
I have no idea what that man knows, so.
He knows potatoes.
Those are Spuds.
Even I'm afraid to mess with his potatoes. Like.
That's going on the quotes list. I wonder if that's something you can learn.
Magic?
Did you? Yeah.
I mean,
He's got a book for it, right?
you could
Is it
always
just like-
ask and see. If
Just like read the book and you just...
I'm guessing there's a fair amount of training involved if you can learn it.
Yeah, probably.
But I would also argue that you probably have some innate magic based off of what I've seen of the interaction for your wolf. There is something in you that's countering the alpha's magic. I would argue that it's probably your own.
Wait, seriously?
There's two sides within you. There's the alpha guk, and there's a white light.
I figured that was like my soul or something. That's like magic?
Well, if the alpha's is magic, wouldn't yours be magic? Are they that in nature?
Guess. Huh.
I don't know how humans work. I'm just saying that's what I assumed.
Well, you're assuming I still count as human.
If I still have human tendencies, you still have human tendencies.
You know, it's funny. I was so busy worrying about you being a monster that I went and became one. Maybe more than anybody realizes yet.
I think you're only a monster if you choose to be. And the Joe I've seen is fighting tooth and nail to not be a monster. It's fighting to be a hero.
Trying to be. Still don't think I'm very good at it. At least in comparison to you guys.
I would argue there are plenty of civilians out there who would say the exact opposite. Being a hero isn't about being flashy. You have saved countless lives. You're the first one to run into buildings to save someone. Run into danger. How many times have you taken a hit just to save someone else?
I guess.
Ideally, you should be taking less hits, but we can address that at a later. I know you have a healing factor that is beside the point.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a healing factor on like the same level that Rox has got a healing factor. More I can like put myself together given enough time. You know, body's sort of used to reformatting everything on a pretty regular basis, so just do that a couple times and it sort of fills the holes. I pushed a bullet out of myself doing that once.
I don't think that's a good thing.
Hurt like hell, but it was kind of cool.
Bullets are very unpleasant.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's maybe try and avoid holes.
That sounds like a plan. And let's try to avoid Fae bullshit, at least as much as we can.
That is also a plan.
And, you know, with me and Henry being broken up, I guess once things have calmed down, I don't really entirely know what I might be doing with my free time, because I missed the semester.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to explain.
Yeah. So I guess... want to hang out sometime?
That sounds nice.
I know a good place for milkshakes.
Steak and milk.
But I don't actually know if they shake the milk. It's more like a stir thing.
Sure, I'll try it.
Why do they call it a milkshake? Huh.
Your language is weird.
Yeah. Language in general is kind of weird. We're just like making sounds and somehow like other people just like know what you're saying unless they don't. It's really weird. Deep thoughts with Joe.
High thoughts with Joe.
I promise Sylvia's not pheromoning the area right now.
This is what Joe is like when he loosens the fuck up
Yep.
and relaxes for 5 minutes.
Exactly. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Joe is not too far off from Roxy. He's like Roxy with like 6 more brain cells.
I thought they just shared the brain cell.
They share a brain cell, but Joe also has a spare.
Together, when they're together, it's shared. When they're
Yeah.
apart, it's Joe's.
Yeah, that's it.
That makes sense.
I mean, if you just want some time as a normal person, I mean, I really get that.
I think some time as a normal person sounds enjoyable, especially in light of all that I am currently learning about myself.
They haven't revoked my student ID yet. Could probably get you into the college library. Try to figure out when that all took place or where. They probably have some sort of history book about that.
That'd be nice. Do some research into where I belonged.
Fair warning,
When?
I'll come with you, but whenever Henry did stuff like that, I was out within like 15 minutes.
This company would be nice.
And I think if you'll allow it, Joe will hesitantly pat you on the back.
I think Sylvia will allow it.
Good job, sport.
Then there's like a couple more steps. You sort of... Oh. Huh. I guess that sticks.
What?
Your sort of pheromone aura. Same smell.
Interesting. You could potentially weaponize that.
I mean, most smells sort of stick.
But most smells don't have weird fey properties.
Also true. Or, you know, maybe I'm just lonely. I can't remember if I told you, but one of the things your pheromones smell like to me is Henry.
I think Sylvie gives a small smile at that. And she says, she thinks for a moment and she says, give it time. If it's meant to be, it'll be. That door isn't entirely closed yet.
Maybe it should be.
That's not entirely for you to decide, though, now is it?
Yeah. Need to remember that, I guess. Why can't there be a story with relationship advice?
I think there probably is. I don't think they ever get it right, but each relationship is different. And you add in superpowers, and it's just a complete mess.
I think that should be the tagline for the city.
Halcyon, a complete mess.
Should be a tagline for a lot of things, but I think cities have to make themselves sound appealing a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, This city does a good job of advertising itself otherwise. I mean, you might see some superheroes otherwise in the States, but, like, this is superhero central. Plus, all the tech is cool.
Which begs the question, why would they want to alienate them? Might be a good way to get the public on board.
Because Councilman Evans is an asshole?
Well, yes, that has been established. But even so, councilmen have to keep the public's opinion in mind. They want to come back.
Some part of me wonders if this has something to do with that whole accelerant situation. Because I don't think we ever, directly ended up talking to him, but didn't the mayor, have a hand in that? Do you think maybe he kind of pushed for this a little bit?
Maybe it's time to dust off that civilian identity of mine and see if I can get a little closer to certain individuals for information.
Yeah, maybe. Geez, yeah. You'd actually be a great spy.
That was the initial plan. But turns out I didn't really play well with the Fae, so I got myself kicked out.
Wait, you got kicked out of the Fae?
Exiled until they found something they wanted to have me do to redeem myself. And
Maybe
now we're in this mess, so.
Maybe I misunderstood something, but Thistle made it sound like you'd left.
I left after not good actions.
It didn't have something to do with the war, did it?
I have no idea what the war is. And I'm not necessarily going to stick my foot in that. But...
Yeah, we need a minimum amount of additional stuff right now, I think.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not exactly on the best of terms with my people at this point, so not my circus, not my monkeys.
Not my players, not my game. Still, Halcyon's got a tendency to magnetize trouble to it. I figured that much out at the very least.
Well, should that bridge appear, we will cross it when we come to it. Until then, the Fae can deal with their own shit.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Seeing as it seems like we have plenty on our plates regarding covert ops that are experimenting on people, werewolves, and corrupt politicians. Not sure which one is the most difficult to handle at this given point.
Yeah, it's really anybody's game on that one, isn't it?
At least you can punch the werewolves in the face, theoretically.
I would be very impressed if any of you managed to punch the alpha in the face.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm leaving the alpha up to you. But I'll try to take Aroma out for you.
That would be appreciated, but forget if I mentioned this, but I can't really fight the alpha. I kind of just flick a finger, hell, not even that, and I'm useless at best, a liability at worst. Kind of part of the whole reason I've been so hesitant to talk about this, because I don't know what access they have to me.
Well, you have Echo, who is an absolute genius at tech that could potentially help you find a solution. And then we have Spuds, who knows more, from what I can tell, more about magic than anyone else we have access to. So put those two together and maybe we can figure out a way to grant you some immunity to that. I mean, we're already looking at one implemented mind control bullshit. Why not expand it out to two?
Fair point. I think as much as we've got all these things going on that I know require attention, I really think Cynthia in particular needs a break.
So true.
I think we all need a break.
Unfortunately, I don't know exactly when a break is going to present itself. I don't know how fast these ticking time bombs are ticking down.
As best I can figure, I mean, I don't know what the time frame for your thing might be.
As long as you guys don't die, we're good.
Okay. I got
So
no
that's why
intention of
no
doing that.
holes. Got it?
Got it. Well, I think Roxy's probably the most pressing thing, because they're like actively trying to repossess her, I guess. Don't even know what the hell to refer to that as. Next thing would probably be the registration. And then, like, the next event I know about for the pack isn't until next year, around the start of spring.
Doesn't mean they're not working in the shadows.
Well, they certainly are, but I'm technically not a member yet, so I don't get to know anything that's going on.
You might have someone investigating to a point, but
I mean, Blindside isn't a high position, but man, Alpha is just so damn careful. I should call him, actually. I haven't talked with him in a few days.
Another thing we can do once we get back to base, or you can do upon reaching a safe location if he is not aware of base.
He's not aware of the base.
Maybe once you're back to school or your dorm.
Yeah. And I haven't been back there in days either. Ugh.
Honestly, you should probably try. Those of us who tried to re-register for this semester should probably try and re-register for next semester. So,
Yeah. Thank you, Sylvie, for I think being the first person on the team who kind of gets it.
I'm trying to.
Doing a pretty good job. did not expect you of everybody to be the person I most resonated with, I guess.
This world's full of surprises.
Here we are with stolen humanity, overlords we don't want, and don't want to protect everybody around us.
Mm. We'll figure it out together. And we have a pretty good team backing us.
Yeah.
Even if a few of us are chaos gremlins, but
Most of you are Chaos Gremlins. I'd say it's like herding cats, but I think the cat's actually easier to herd. No offense, Freya.
She bops her on
Nice.
the side of the head.
the nice thing about chaos though is it's not easy to predict, and we can use that to our advantage.
Yes, that's true.
Just have to organize it a little better.
And that just reminded me that I still have not talked with Cynthia about my ideas. A while back now, she gave me the green light to theorize about ways we might work together in the field.
Well,
sitting-
seeing as sounds like there's going to be a bit of training coming up, it might be a good idea to revisit those ideas.
I'll have to come up with something for the two of us. I kind of just crossed that option off the list.
I'm sure we can figure out something.
I think probably at this point you reach the warehouse.
All right, let's get Boulder for Brains out of his cell.
Should we be masked?
I was about to say, Joe will shift.
Yeah, Sylvie just throws a mask.
Okay.
Go in and check on Rocky.
It's kind of sitting on the floor, leaning against one of the sides of his cell, just like lightly tapping his head back against the side of it.
Evening.
Are you gonna let me out now?
You gonna be trouble again?
No.
All right. Joe will unlock the cell.
He groans and gets to his feet. Will cautiously walk out of the cell.
If something like that happens again, we're taking you to the actual police. Understood?
Yeah, I got it.
That being said, we're not exactly fans of what's been happening either. So if you really feel like doing something about it, I think we could use a little backup if things come to a head.
What do you mean back up?
I mean,
Like actually fighting?
not currently, thankfully. But the people who started this sort of proved themselves idiots by starting it. So who knows what they're going to do next. If you really feel so motivated about it, and Joe will grab a domino mask like off one of the shelves, I'd suggest looking out for civilians next time and wearing one of these. Otherwise, leave it to the professionals. All right?
No. Take the domino mask and shove it in his pocket and just shove both of his hands in his pockets, and we'll turn and start heading out of the warehouse unless you stop him.
Joe, just make sure that he's got a whiff of Rocky in case we need to track him down later.
Fair.
Well, that was much less confrontational.
At least, and from what I understood of it, he was less than pleased when you all talked to him afterwards.
Yeah. Can't really blame him, though. His sentiment. Man, I'm doing it on accident now.
No.
It's out there. Did you see Henry on TV?
I did. I think more of the public are in our favor than we anticipated. And like it or not, this might be more of a PR war than PR and shadow war than a grand battle between two forces, which we may need to start looking into context to help fight it. Civilians we've saved, perhaps. Maybe rubbing elbows with certain people. Can work out a battle plan.
I could talk with Sam, my stepdad. He sort of runs a foundation that's in support of supers. If anybody can get something rolling, it'd probably be him.
Are you willing to ask that of him?
When I told him and my mom about this, he said if I needed anything, I could come to them. I think this qualifies as needing something.
Yeah, I think it might. Might be a good time to spread some rumors around among the higher ups of the city that supporting superheroes is the new in vogue trend as well.
Plus, P and Councilman Evans have already been going at it whenever they start talking viewpoints.
Yeah, I think potentially isolating Councilman Evans socially might also be in our benefit. Curb his power.
And now I'm thinking like Roxy, because I was thinking about that spot in the woods that Blindside took me out to, and I'm just like, you could just like tie him to a rock out there.
Ooh, yeah. That, as fun as that would be, That will come back to bite us if we do it.
Yeah.
He reports that he was harassed by superheroes. We get in trouble. What we need is to get him harassed by the masses so he cannot retaliate. And that's a longer war. Not nearly as instantaneous.
We've got about 30 days to wage it.
Guessing we need to start drawing up a battle plan. Are there any other threats that we need to be aware of that could cause a problem in this war?
I mean, Henry's mom is a hero. I guess it's worth mentioning she does have powers, which, if that becomes public knowledge, her whole stance on this is gonna become under fire, probably.
I saw her manipulating her ring the other day. That doesn't surprise me.
I got her that ring.
That also doesn't surprise me.
Echo's probably going to be taking a little bit of time yet with her research. Do you want to go pick up dinner for everybody?
It's always good, and I don't know when anyone ate last, so probably for the best.
Shit, have I eaten today? No, I had a breakfast sandwich, yeah.
So definitely food then.
Man, my macros are all messed up.
What a sports guy.
More concerned that you're gonna just drop than your macros. I don't even know what macros are. But please do not faint on me.
In my memory, I have never fainted. Well, aside from being knocked out. I don't know if being knocked out counts.
That doesn't count. That's being knocked out. That's a totally different situation. Also something that you should be concerned of, because concussions. But
yeah, Roxy was mentioning those. I think maybe my healing factor kind of makes that a non-issue. Maybe.
Something to investigate at a later date. Make sure everything's healing properly. But
Cynthia just has an MRI
yeah.
on show.
The scan Dro's brain is in the shape of a football.
Ball is life. Ball is brain.
She publishes that as scientific results.
I love this word.
It's a new syndrome called football brain. And I mean that literally.
That's its
Later in the
term,
90s, it's
football
turned
brain.
into a popular cartoon.
Okay. But I think Sylvie and Joe can head out to get some
Yeah.
food for everyone. And that's a good spot to take our break. So we'll be back here in about 10 minutes.
Friendship, connection.
Never mind.
Hey, this might come out as total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something. 'Cause I feel alone in a room surrounded by people
answer right away here, so I'll
It's a
go
cowboy.
first.
Lizard cowboy.
What is
Texarkana cosplay.
Rude.
That's Crow. He's annoyed with us for ruining the surprise.
Son of a. I mean, you could have predicted it, but like, come on, man. Try
Not
to
on
be
your
anyway.
plate. It's hard to make friends when you keep a secret like your identity. I get that. That's why I probably fell for all the girls. It was nice to have somebody else who was just in it. I didn't have to tell them that, oh yeah, by the way, I might never die or age or could be some sort of weird science experiment. And I can punch things real hard. And also
I mean, in all fairness, if you're a science experiment, I think that just turns Cynthia on.
it's fair. That's fair.
Out in the
Is
living
that-
room, Eugene chokes.
Rex?
Yeah. Good news. I'm not dead.
That is good news, yes.
We didn't get in a fight. I picked up Henry and then we found her mom and then she stood up to her and set boundaries and it was good. It was very,
And-
very good.
Iron Maiden respected those boundaries.
No, absolutely not. She's an asshole.
Okay.
She
Glad
did-
you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't start a fight with me. Maybe having Henry there made. Well, I did promise Henry I wouldn't punch her mom first.
I appreciate that.
I wasn't gonna. Well, I don't really want to start fights. I don't know if I've actually ever started a fight, except for the time I started a fight with a wall at the hairspray factory, or that time I broke reality. But that's not really fighting people. That's like objects. Whatever. It's philosophical things. It's late. I don't know. I've got.
I feel like shortly after Liz leaves, Janet comes back into the garage, like locks eyes with Parker. We're stealing mail. Get dressed.
God damn it, Janet. Cut to black.
Oh my god. Okay. This will not go horribly wrong. Okay. Oh, with that,
Well, can I really quick? Because this is fast. Because this is like a total counter to what Janet just did. When Liz gets home, Dominic's sitting outside the gate, and that's when he says it out loud to her. So now his animals picked up on him saying it. So it's like the plans are just everything's gone to
Fuck the
crap.
plan.
Okay.
all right.
So what is effectively happening is that one meme of someone about to get shot and someone's like, no, 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 no. Just diving in front of each other.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Maya didn't.
Flynn's
know.
asleep.
Yeah, Maya
Oh my
didn't.
God.
Flynn is asleep. No.
What a way to end off episode 2. What a cliffhanger.
Under the trees, I found a box of black pearls. I couldn't believe that it could change our known world. Under the stars, one night I opened it up. And your voice came pouring out like gold, as silent as a whisper in the
Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. Oh, this is all we got. And I know you'll make mistakes, get interference and lose your way. Find the light when it rains. Oh, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. 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 Show me love.
I also bit people as a child. There, that's in the episode now.
Perfect. My
I love it.
thumb looks really tiny.
What?
Look at
I
that.
think
It's
I think it's like the pink jacket. There's too much of the
Yes.
same color.
tiny. So tiny. Anyway, yep.
This is where we're at.
It's who we are.
Yup.
I need a nap badly.
Vibes.
Yeah, so before we get back to I was gonna say Crow and Sylvie, Joe and Sylvie. Okay, alrighty.
Focus up.
Before we get back to Joe and Sylvie, Cynthia and Elena, if I can remember character names. Cynthia and Elena are at the base. Anything else you'd like to discuss? Or do?
I think at the point in which Cynthia just gets completely frustrated with the presumed lack of progress, goes and checks on whatever Elena's doing, presumably lifting things still,
Yeah.
or she decided to do something else.
She's trying to turn pages of books with gravity.
How is that going?
I don't know. Probably not well, because it's going to require very fine skill to pick up, like, you can't see what I'm touching, but like a piece of paper. It's
I
so
get that.
small.
Yeah, Cynthia just kind of puts down what she was working on, sighs, spins in the swivel chair. Was it restful having the night to yourself? Wait, was that last night in game? I don't remember.
Yes,
I don't even know.
I think. Sure, we'll go with it. Yeah.
It was.
We create
That
our
was
own
the-
continuity errors.
That was the day before meeting Spuds, which was today, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go with that.
I'll just loudly agree and no one can argue with me.
Hey, vibes.
That's true.
The loudest in the room is the most correct in the room.
That's definitely how it works.
Ergo, I'm the loudest. Ergo, I'm the most correct.
Charlie needs a nap.
Clearly.
Yeah, it was restful. It was nice not having to. I just didn't think about. She just kind of gestures vaguely to the base. I just didn't think of that. And if you can get your brain to stop that,
What's your
then
secret?
you just disassociate. Stare off blankly into space.
Fair
My
enough, I
secret,
suppose.
Cap. I'm always just.
That's the latest. Joe's like, how
The
are you so
latest
calm?
trend.
It's just disassociated.
Well,
Roxy would be so mad at all of us right now.
She would be so proud of you two, and then not really thrilled with Lena and Cynthia for disassociating.
Cynthia, I don't think is particularly capable of disassociating on this issue because she just can't stop thinking about it, though she'd love to. What's your take on all of it then? With the souls thing.
It's interesting. It's the concept that there are actually souls.
Yeah, that one surprised me too.
I think that's a little bit more interesting than the fact that they've been sold to the Fae. That's problemsome, but that could be. We could live forever. That could be like 100 years from now.
What would it be us?
Like, we don't even know if this particular Roxy, our Roxy, has a soul, even if she's clone. Do werewolves have souls? Apparently.
I guess. Does that mean hypothetically the soul of the other Roxy was sold? Possibly.
Mm. Like,
Be
how
pretty-
is somebody going to inform the Pope that they've right? It's like all this time there are souls, and somebody somewhere was right about something. But
Quite a rare occurrence.
there's not much we can do about it now. Sylvie said she's going to try and fix it. I'm hoping if she gets in over her head, maybe she comes for help instead of trying to do it herself this time.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even know souls exist. It's not like I would have even necessarily said no if I had been asked.
it's a good cause. It's like this werewolf thing is a big threat, and it's real, and it's basically now. But souls, when we die, when do we die?
It feels like a very permanent solution to a very temporary problem.
Maybe.
I've gone up against some pretty shitty odds.
That's what
There's
they call
usually a
cult.
way to fix things that doesn't involve fucking people over. Of course. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretend to understand the Fae, so
I don't think she had the choice. I think it was answer now or don't.
yeah, that's probably true.
I've never been in a similar situation, so I don't know one way or the other.
It's like I don't know. It's hard to really describe. Someone you trust does something that you don't trust them after. I actually kind of had hope for my parents before the whole camp thing. It wasn't great, but I was 6, 7, 8. You kind of just accept things are normal at that age.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, you're going to a summer camp. It'll be great," and it's not. I just hate choices being made for me, I guess.
That's fair. Especially very big choices.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Until we can figure out how to maybe we will actually need the Marco family lawyer to renegotiate the terms of this contract, because that seems well out of our scopes, but
Well, I guess it depends on whether or not they're an expert in Fey law. Not exactly a course most universities offer. But again, maybe they do.
they might have to start.
Apparently. Ugh. Fey law course. Snacks provided. Eating them is automatic failure. I don't know what to do about it.
I don't think there's anything we can do. We have to focus
Unless-
on the things we can fix.
Less that. I mean, I don't know what to do about Sylvie. I get it. Part of me wants to just forgive and try to forget. But
I think
it's a small part.
forgive is a good first step. That's going to
How?
be the hardest first step.
Understatement. How do you even forgive that?
Just sit here and stare at the book and try to make the pages turn on its own.
Well, it's a process. I'll give you that.
You might never forgive her, but we're still a team. You have to
Yeah.
forgive enough to be able to trust again.
Yeah. I don't know. Not sure if it's trust or forgiveness that's harder on this one.
I think it's trust.
It's probably fair.
Given the circumstances. Not
Yeah.
great circumstances, but
But I want to say I can trust her to act in the team's best interests, and I trust her to act in what she sees as the team's best interests, but I don't know. This is not me fishing for reassurances. I just want to preface that. But sometimes I do wonder if it's leading things is even something I'm cut out for.
having been on no other teams before in my entire life, I think you're doing a great job.
I
But I
appreciate that.
also don't think
but-
that any of us intended our entire lives to also be involved in this whole team.
I think that's also fair.
That's a little bit more harder to manage than just alter egos and fighting crime.
Yeah. It's harder to manage when it's more people, too, than when it's just you. Going solo was almost easy.
It's lonely, so.
Oh, there's Hecate. She made the decision, so it wasn't really hard. But
Might be lonely for her too.
you're probably right about that.
Could be why she found a teenage protege.
It's more that I found her.
She still took you in.
That's true. And I'm actually going to be going for the vulnerability or weakness team move here. So while Charlie reads up on that, she took me in when she was fresh off a divorce.
She might have just wanted company too.
No, that's probably part of it. It's more, she wasn't necessarily in a good place at the time. It got better over time, but I say divorce, but like I actively know her ex and friends, I guess. Hard to say.
We were in a better place when we all met up. I think it's just kind of the ups and the downs. And somewhere along the way, you pick up a few people. You pick
That's
up
true. She likes
Slugs
to.
and Henry, and she picks up you.
That's true. She likes to say she works alone, but she actually collects a lot of people.
Friends are good to have.
They are.
But
I
you
mean,
have to be able to trust them a little bit.
it's a two-way road.
That's fair.
You're not always going to do things that encourage trust in the other person, but I guess it's up to both of us to find a way through. How are you doing with your whole dad situation?
I don't know. I've never met him
That's fair.
before. I don't even
Do you
think
want
we
to?
had a picture of him.
I don't remember. I'll read later.
I don't think so, but it might be nice to meet him. Even if we don't know who each other are, we can at least maybe be friends.
Solve some mysteries.
But there's that nagging feelings that maybe it's a bad. Something horribly wrong could go.
I mean,
What if he is the Watchdog's alpha?
small world. It's possible, I suppose.
Halcyon can be a very small town sometimes.
Would that mean that you have werewolf genes?
That would be interesting too, werewolf.
I'm
But I
picturing
feel
like
like
a glowing werewolf just running around Halcyon.
barking and making things float.
Absolute chaos.
I don't think she knows anything about first werewolf transformation, so she wouldn't know if it has to be stressful or not. I don't think Joe's. She's never asked Joe, and I don't think he's ever gonna volunteer that information freely. So, two werewolf on
We'll
teams would
see.
be
We'll see.
chaos, I guess. Oh, and we could have three because Sylvie could turn into one.
True.
Just 3 different modes: glitter mode, light mode, and
Wolf mode.
cowboy mode. Yeah.
Internally, Cynthia's like, probably make that 4 werewolves because maybe
And
Roxy.
Italian mode.
She's not saying that out loud. Italian werewolf.
Yeah. Italian mode.
Mafia mode.
Werewolf in Little Italy.
Halcyon werewolf in Little Italy. Oh, werewolves of Halcyon.
Let's focus on getting your current power set under control first.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a werewolf.
It'd be interesting, but maybe not the easiest thing to deal with.
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
Oh, don't ask that, then it'll come true. Well, if you run into anything with your dad, just let us know what you want us to do, if anything.
Maybe when things calm down. Buddy system Marve over there.
We do have quite a lot on our plate at the moment.
So some of it we can't even do. I wonder if he's. Natalie said he was some kind of scientist. So maybe he does the interdimensional. So it might be helpful.
You know his name?
Yeah. Jürgen Dietrich.
I'll look into it if that's something you'd want me to do or would be comfortable with.
It's fine. We figure out what he does, and I can maybe decide if he's doing like crazy science stuff. Maybe to keep my distance, but
Well, one way to find out, I suppose, but you're right. We do have. Probably be better to save it for after everything comes down a little. Assuming it calms down.
Unless it kind of overlaps with Swordman. Because we have to figure out how to do that.
Makes me kind of wonder, is the sword like just like a real fucked up sword, or is it like, does this guy have actual powers, or is it the tech that does it?
Conduit. Is the sword's a conduit for the
Yeah, like
Power.
like Tempest's gun.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of underground tech kind of labs that build things for heroes, villains.
Money.
Money. Just it's hard to suss out their motivations sometimes, which is one of the reasons why Hecate does everything in-house. Helps when you actually know how to do it. But you know, she's still got contacts, so if we can get a hold of the sword. I mean, we have bigger problems if we're in a situation where that's a possibility. We need a plan. I wish I knew more about how this guy actually made the fucking portals, but
Yeah. Is it the sword? Is it innate?
should probably ask Sarah. She might remember.
You know, Roxy can do it at least twice. Could she do it even a third time? Sylvie
True.
and Distal have had experience with portals too, but those two, I think, can control where they go.
Yeah.
So can maybe we hook up Sylvie to Roxy and have Roxy create the portal and Sylvie direct it? Not just hold hands while you do it.
Not in the base.
Oh no! This is like beyond junkyards. This is like go to the
This is-
desert.
We are going outside of the city to a place without people.
The desert, the ocean. Oh, we would need a very large boat. No guarantees it wouldn't sink.
Same time, Roxy's method of opening the portal might be substantially different enough that it could cause complications. And if we don't know, could be opening a whole nother can of worms.
Maybe best just to leaves that can closed.
Yeah. For now, at least. I don't care as much being gone for long periods of time, as long as Hecate still remembers me. But some people have more to lose, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, should probably get back to it. How's the motor control going?
Tries to lift a page again.
How far did she get?
I don't know. Do you want to roll for it?
Sure. Let's for a second.
Unleash your powers.
What's my freak's pretty good. Oh, well, that's good. 8, 9, 10, 11.
You said you got an 11?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going incredibly well.
Sometimes it's very good, and sometimes it's not so good.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah.
With gravity. Jeez.
It would be easier with your telekinesis, but everything has a gravity. You just have to figure out how to move it.
Exactly.
And she'll make Cynthia a little lighter. So she's just
Floats a little. Cynthia, like if it's enough that she's floating, she'll kick off the ground just to astronaut hover. If I haven't said it recently, you're really fucking cool.
Thank you. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes you squish a whole building.
I mean, I definitely almost collapsed a building at one point, so I cannot judge on that front.
I think everybody has at this point.
Eh. Well, when you're working with powers on this scale, it's
Working with Roxy and going through the buildings. Things. So Henry's Muther just chuck watchdog through a building.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. I am so happy that none of your moms are that fucking nuts.
Natalie and her sequence.
That's fair. That the woman scares me. I
She
mean that.
she gets a hold of you long enough. You are bedazzled.
Maybe that's her power. Speed bedazzling.
It's speed sewing.
Has she tried to make any alterations to your costume lately?
Checked in detail. I've just been using the same ones.
It's fair. Are the pants working out?
They're very nice and warm.
Ooh, nice.
It's
Imagine.
good for this.
And cold out these days.
Mm-hmm. When it gets warmer, I'll probably convince her to do shorts because the skirts, not really. They look nice when you're flying, but they're little. You gotta wear shorts anyway. Just cut off the extra fabric.
You could always do like a kind of a high-low situation, like shorts and then like flare out. Just don't get near any like jet engines, I guess.
That's why I don't use capes.
Fair. And Cynthia will kind of like actually, I don't remember. Are they in costume right now?
We're in the base.
You were in costume at the warehouse, so if you didn't change when you got back, then yeah.
Okay. Cynthia's probably then hood and face mask are off, but she kind of holds up the edge of it. She's like, it's weighted. Spin the right way and you can hit someone in the fucking face.
Sandy.
It's
I
good
don't
if you're
know.
surrounded.
Elena's costume, I think, is pants with the similar bell sleeve shirt, but
Yeah.
maybe Vate's on the end of the sleeve, so they stop. I also can just make them weighted. Doesn't really.
Can I look at it?
Yeah.
And she'll like take a look at the sleeve. I mean, I think we could do weights pretty easily. One less thing for you to be distracted by, so frees up some of your concentration.
Just kind of let them do whatever. Right now, they're just kind of shoved into my coat.
Well, if it ever becomes something you want something to be done about, and don't want to ask Natalie for whatever reason,
It's the sequins.
it's the sequence.
I'm glad Sylvie likes the sequins because
They kind of fit the aesthetic.
now
Sequins
I can
glitter.
tell her no sequins. Not
Um,
bad.
Yeah, we could probably add some weights easy enough if it becomes a thing. I don't have a whole manufacturing area down here for nothing. Speaking of which, I've actually got to make a Watchdog needs a new costume. Forgot about that.
I have an extra one. It has sequins. He said no sequins. His prototype had sequins. See if she could just make another.
As funny as it would be, wait, above the table, did she make the first one? Like, yes, because it was like cowboyish.
Yeah, she had
All
the
right.
sequin, the prototype sequin that he shot down for some inexplicable reason, and the sequinless one.
Well,
Just get more. Honestly, at this point, everybody should have like 2 or 17.
that's fair. I don't know. My free time, I make more of the bodysuits because they're helpful. Make more of the communicators. Make more of everything. Helps me think. Also, fun fact, it's actually really easy to deal with electronics when you can control them with your mind.
Then you don't have to worry about the static.
That's true.
You
Or getting
just
electrocuted.
go into a frictionless environment somehow.
No need for tweezers or figuring anything out like that. Just magnifying
Mind
glass. Yeah. But it works out. Is your communicator still working in good condition?
She
Doesn't need
takes
any
it out,
changes.
looks at it. Seems fine.
Okay. Since we've had some mishaps lately, just figured I'd check.
Some missing vans, some
Destroyed ones.
yeah. Oh, I called Henry earlier. She did not answer, but oh, she's got the family thing. That's probably why. I forgot. She was going to see if she could do some research on the interdimensional physics.
I mean,
But-
she's one of the super humanities majors. She might know someone I don't.
I'm sure you'll see her again. Just
Hopefully
ask
in
her
one
next
piece.
time.
I don't know Iron Maiden personally, but
She
she's
sounds like a bitch.
she does sound like a bitch. This is
I've only
true.
heard what Roxy has said, and then the whole secondhand watchdogs through the building story. But
If you asked Hecate, she'd say the same thing. They do not get on. They're cordial, but Hecate's cordial with most of the community.
large community, it's better to be amicable.
Yeah, making enemies isn't really a good move.
No, you never know when you're going to need some very oddly specific something.
Yeah. Which, honestly, is probably half the reason that they don't freak out about Hecate more than they do. She has what they need. So if she's a little antisocial, doesn't matter. Eh. Not that we outsource very often. Yeah, company secrets and all that.
True.
Somebody else got handled of our tech, they might misuse it.
That's true about most things.
Yeah.
You get just like Roxy in the wrong hands, apparently, is a sleeper agent.
Fucking Christ.
Werewolves in the wrong hands are a cult, I guess.
I will say werewolf cult is not a combination of words I ever expected to hear in my lifetime, but why not?
Spuds, you can make Spuds turn anybody into a battery.
What?
He does with his mumbo jumbo, he does the amplification. I guess he's the batteries then.
Sorry, my mind immediately went to like potato batteries.
You'd make a potato battery.
Can he or can I?
In general.
It's not very powerful. But you can. I think you also need a lemon.
Have any lemons? We could easily get Spuds to give us potatoes.
Does he like just summon them, or like does he walk by and like they get sucked into the gravity well?
I've seen the book sing, and a couple of times he had the potato guns.
He has access to a potato dimension?
Maybe. It's a foil-lined pocket dimension.
You can pull them out, but they're already baked. Always have a snack.
The world of starch.
Alright. I'm gonna get back to it, but good job with the book.
Thanks. going to keep practicing for a bit.
Is there anything I
Probably-
can help with? Let me know.
Probably should figure out dinner. I'm getting kind of hungry.
Yeah, that's fair. Staying in and going out.
I wait for Joe and Sylvie and Hair Papa to get back.
That's fair. And I
I
can't
think-
really go out in civilian mode right now, so can always get takeout, I guess.
Hmm.
I'm not cooking.
We have potatoes.
Wait.
Well, most of the plants are dead, actually. I don't know if
Uh,
we would have to reteach the new ones capitalism or not, but
Oh my God,
that's
you did
another
it.
thing.
Capitalism is dead. All the
did.
capitalist plans are dead.
We did it.
You did it.
It's another trade secret, I guess, is the plants that ran the building. A
Yeah.
strange week this apartment building has had.
Yeah. Planning on staying at home again tonight? Quite frankly, I'm planning on staying elsewhere.
I might stay here tonight.
You're welcome to it as always.
Oh, I guess we do still have to buddy system. The Roxys are with Roxy and Tony. This should be fine for them and not him.
Well, I guess to keep the numbers even, I could stay here. Got spare rooms down here, because I can't really go upstairs right now. Windows and all that. I just pull the blinds with my mind.
Also, who on the top of this building would be looking in the windows? I have never closed a blind in here my entire life. All
That's fair.
6 months we've been in this building. Year. It's been a year, 2 years. I guess she didn't really move in until summer, so
Yeah, because we've known each other for a year
Yeah.
in our time, not accounting for like the 3 months that passed.
Yeah.
That's probably a fair point, but I underestimated the people who took Roxy before, and I don't really want to do it again. And
fair.
being actively seen with her and actively using my powers to escape when in civilian mode is I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm paranoid as hell.
I have gathered that, yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
We'll check in with them when they get back. Like if you decide to call Henry again and get a hold of her, let me know.
I guess if she's busy tonight, that won't bother her.
Yeah. I hope she is okay after that. From what
She
Roxy was
wasn't-
saying.
She wasn't with us when the Roxys met, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
She left
I'm
before
sure Roxy is going to want to tell her about meeting Roxy, so
I mean, if she needs some sort of emotional counseling or a shoulder to cry on, Roxy's good at that.
both of them know, I bet.
Yeah. And I think at that point, Cynthia's probably just going to go back to her work.
Cool. Your communicator rings, Cynthia.
Oh, all right. In that case, she will pick it up.
Hecate to Echo.
Echo here.
I have some updates on the hairspray factory.
Oh. Do tell.
It's not much to go on, but the official name of it was Jefferson Research Industries, and it looks like that was a shell organization.
Okay.
Not sure for whom yet, because the name on the paperwork is for one Hugo Daringer, but I cannot find any other records of this individual. So we're likely dealing with an alias.
Smart. I wouldn't put my real name on that paperwork either. Okay. Well, it was the shell company.
It was Jefferson Research Industries.
Same name as them.
It was basically acting as a front for the building and an official research organization, so people wouldn't ask questions.
That's the way to do it.
They could get away with employing rosters of scientists and other personnel. Not really sure where the money was being funneled. Right now I can just tell it's going to some restricted account.
Interesting. Is it the money going to them or the money coming from them?
The money they were bringing in.
Okay.
They were gaining revenue, but I don't know who. I don't know where within the organization that money was going.
Okay.
Typically, those paper trails will tell us who set it up, but since we know Hugo is a dead end,
Chances are the papers are probably destroyed in the explosion. Might be copies, but no way of knowing where those would be.
probably with whoever set it up.
Yeah. Well, thank you for looking into it.
If we're lucky, maybe this is an alias that's been used somewhere else, but I wouldn't bet on it, considering the size of this operation. It's definitely someone with experience.
Yeah, be a little bit too sloppy.
Mhm.
All right, I'll keep looking. Any updates other than that on your end?
That's all I've got so far.
All right. Roxy met Roxy and nothing exploded.
That's comforting, I suppose.
From what we were able to discern, other Roxy is the original. Probably. Timeline still doesn't add up, but memory manipulation doesn't really mean much.
There's a lot that we're dealing with that doesn't add up.
And say that again. Oh, let me know if anything comes up. I'll keep you updated.
Okay?
Echo out.
I could see out.
Had I already gotten the information on Jefferson Research Industries from Joe?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Cynthia's gonna go add that to the if she doesn't have a conspiracy board set up yet, she's making one, but I think we had one already, so she's
I think
adding
there's
to
like
it.
3 at this point.
Yeah. She finds the requisite conspiracy board.
Yeah, you can get it
Roxy conspiracy.
accurately categorized with the
Werewolf
conspiracies.
conspiracy.
It's like there's like the 4 rooms of the conference room, and it's like there's
Each
one
one's
here, one here, one
conspiracy.
here, and
Yeah.
like they each have their own conspiracy board, but there's like the occasional thread that like goes across the room from one thing to the other.
You know what? Actually, I love that. We have that now.
You have to like duck and hop over a string because we don't put it at the same level every single time. That would be ridiculous.
So I think there's like the baseline version right now on the whiteboard that has like, it makes no sense to anyone who isn't familiar with like Echo's chicken scratch writing and honestly kind of insane everything. But yeah, a conspiracy board room that's kind of a hazard.
A conspiracy boardroom.
Yes.
Leave meeting.
I feel like they're even worse because everyone just adds in little bits of their own like chicken scratch. So the team understands what's going on because everyone recognizes everyone's little pieces.
Everyone has a different
Yep.
color they write in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sylvie's is somehow glittery despite having no glitter markers whatsoever.
I'm picturing like she did it with like a chalk and it wasn't glittery, but then it became glittery 2 seconds after she does each
Yes.
line. I love it.
Joe's like put a football play diagram at one point. He refuses to explain it.
Just a bunch of X's and O's and arrows.
Yep.
I feel like at some point it's probably been annotated in a way that's just vaguely rude.
Blue. Got like circles on one side and the arrows going towards the X's, and somebody added some more lines to that.
All right. Cool. So, time for me to have some fun.
Oh no.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Sylvie and Joe are going to get food.
Yep.
And turn corner down a street further down the sidewalk. You see Rhea's standing in front of Henry. And it seems like she was just starting to turn around, and then she looks like across the sidewalk. And Joe, you know that is
Baby girl.
Henry's parents' house.
New Jersey taken off.
And she slaps a hand over Reyes's mouth and then just like grabs his shoulder and shoves him into like a nearby cafe.
There's like a half second where Joe's brain is just like buffering through what he just saw.
I feel like Sylvie is ready to react to a violent outburst if necessary. Looking for the nearest plant to potentially restrain Joe with.
Oh god, I need a tree.
What the fuck?
Is Henry like still on the sidewalk? Like, did she go into the cafe with Reyes or?
Yeah, she was shoving him inside and like went in with him.
The emotional cocktail that you just immediately formulated.
If you hadn't gone looking for dinner.
I shouldn't follow them, right?
I think this is something that is in Henry's court to bring up to you at some point. What did either of them look injured in any way when this happened?
No.
Because you said they were across from Henry's house.
Yeah. No. They
So-
both looked fine. Henry just looked a little panicked. And taken like aback. Like you could tell she was like very off like balance by what was going on.
I would say that judging by how she was reacting, adding panic to the fire probably isn't the best choice in course of action at the moment.
Yeah. Would you mind maybe saying that again with a bit of your pheromone thing? And you can just like see the tension in Joe's spine.
I think Sylvie will look him dead in the eye and say, "Are you sure?"
Just a little.
I think she'll release a little bit of pheromone and repeat the statement.
Just enough to take the edge off.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. I feel like Joe just starts like walking with a purpose before he does something that he knows he really should not do.
Sylvie follows as moral support and resists like she was debating making the comment like, do you want me to glitter bomb his car? But then was like, nope, that this is not the time to make jokes. Like, let's get him refocused.
Do you walk down the street past the cafe? Or are you purposefully gonna like go a block over?
I feel like we were initially going to get like sushi or something, and I feel like Joe's just like, let's get Chinese or from the place a couple blocks down, and just like starts walking away from the cafe. Probably still can be like seen from the cafe, but it's just like walking with a purpose away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You can go and get Chinese food.
Joe is like dead silent through most of it.
I think Sylvie just orders all of the comfort Chinese food that, like,
Yeah, I was just
I'm sure
imagining
they've
like
ordered
bags and bags
Yes,
of Chinese
yeah.
food. They throw in like 10
Like-
fortune cookies.
Yeah. These people are probably like, what the heck is going on? And Sylvie's just like, nope, we're just ordering more food. It's fine.
You're probably waiting there a little bit, not like super long, but a little bit as they prepare all the food and get it bagged up for you, but eventually it's ready to go.
I think by that point, Joe's managed to calm himself down a little bit. I think he's just kind of like got his hands on his knees, staring at the floor, waiting for the food.
I think Sylvie will walk over and say, we don't know what we saw. All I saw was panic. And in light of certain circumstances regarding her home life, there could be multiple reasons for that. Don't jump to conclusions.
I think the conclusions past touchdown about 200 yards back.
Sylvie thinks she understands what you just said, but
And Joe like flexes his hands, and you can see that his fingernails were like digging into his legs. We should really get back to base soon.
yeah, we can head there directly after this.
Like, the food comes up and Joe just like stiffly gets up, takes the food, and just starts like walking back to base.
Sylvie grabs the rest. And follows back, or giving him space, but is close enough that if he needs her, she's there. I think she probably also whistles at Freya to maybe go be comfort support companion. Joe kind of needs her more than Sylvie does at this moment.
Freya will just very gracefully leap onto Joe's shoulder. Don't even really, like, you aren't jostled at all. It's very smoothly as she just settles down there.
I think there is like a slight bit of relief at tension visible as he sort of like he doesn't really have a free hand because he's carrying so much food. He sort of like leans his head against her a little bit. Thanks, both of you.
That's what we're here for.
Just a little rumble as Freya purrs.
You're a really fucking great cat, Sylvie.
Well, she has revealed to have hidden depths at this point, so your uncanny understanding of emotion makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, I mean, animals are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. You watch them for long enough and you can read how they see emotions too. But yeah, this is one smart cat. Or I guess, do you want to be called a cat? I can just call you Freya if you'd prefer, given circumstances.
She just, without digging her claws into you, just makes very gentle biscuits in your shirt.
I'll take that as you're cool with being a cat. Man, I wish I could talk to animals.
Given how this team develops powers, I'm not gonna say you can't. So be careful on those wishes.
What if I had, like, gun fingers? So you could do, like, finger guns, but it'd be, like, actual guns.
It fits the cowboy aesthetic, so. But I don't think it fits the no murdering aesthetic, so.
Yeah, good point. They do kill a lot of people in westerns, don't they?
Don't know what that is. I don't think Sylvie's ever seen a western.
Oh. Oh, I know what we're doing when we hang out then. I gotta see if there's a showing of the Scarlet Express somewhere around town. You have gotta see that. It's a classic.
Sounds like a plan.
Actually, it's kind of funny. Taking over things now, you kind of remind me of the female lead from that movie. Her character doesn't have a name. She's supposed to be like this mysterious thief who's after this jewel on the train. Actress's name is Ruby Harrington. She's a bombshell.
I think Sylvie will give a slight, flattered chuckle and say thank you.
And unless you stop him, Joe will start rambling on about the movie, which is probably him trying to get his mind off of things.
And Sylvie recognizes that and will definitely engage in the rambling about Westerns and doing her best to keep him focused on something else.
Okay.
Because she does recognize this for what it is and thinks it's much better than tearing Reyes apart. So.
Oh, there was a temptation.
I know.
You can walk back to base. And Elena and Cynthia, you watch as they come in bearing 4 or 5 bags of Chinese food.
Ooh. That's a
We
lot.
didn't really know what everybody wanted, so we just kind of got some of everything.
Fair enough, I
Oh,
think.
that's good.
Sure.
So I get the feeling it's been a while since anyone's eaten.
It's also that.
Besides ice cream.
I was gonna say we had ice.
There was a lot of ice cream that has been consumed today.
There
I
hasn't been a
don't think
lot of
Elena
ice cream.
and Cynthia had breakfast. I think they just had ice cream.
Yeah. That's I think that's correct.
Fair warning, the orange chicken from this place is pretty hot. So, if you like heat, go for it. Otherwise, maybe eat with caution.
Cynthia grabs the orange chicken.
Yep.
Elena just picks a box.
Got some wontons, pot stickers. I think that's bourbon chicken.
Now I'm hungry.
Go order Chinese.
I already did yesterday. I can't do it again. Well, I mean, I can, but money.
And of course, we've got all the rice you could ever want, green beans, steamed broccoli.
Yeah.
I don't know what these are, but looks cool.
Fair. Cynthia will get the orange chicken and some pot stickers. She's quite hungry.
Sylvie is definitely trying the mystery thing that we have no idea what it is, but she's gonna try it anyway.
I'm going to live vicariously through Eugene and eat a whole container of lo mein.
Yes.
Elena gravities some orange chicken away from Cynthia.
Works for me.
Sylvie was debating it, but she's like, nah, I ain't gonna steal Cynthia's food right now.
Joe will make sure everybody else gets food before he takes anything, and he loads up.
Yep.
This boy is hungry.
Football player appetite.
And comfort carbs.
And
Also that.
carbs. It's a true fact.
Also, Joe's been doing a lot of micro shifts recently, which also probably burns a ton of calories, so...
Yeah.
Transformations are magic, so it's debatable whether or not it consumes energy. In a thermodynamic sense.
Who knows?
The law of equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking overeating. We'll say, Rocky's free. I got his scent, so if we need to find him again for whatever reason, we can.
Right. Thank you for dealing with that.
Of course. We talked a bit. we're 100% cool now. And
That's good.
I'm ready to talk with you whenever you're ready.
Let me finish eating.
Yeah. I think that nothing else worth reporting.
Easy days then.
Mm-hmm. Super easy.
I think Sylvie immediately cuts her eyes to Echo. And I assume Echo can still read Sylvie's body language pretty well, as there was something went down. Obviously, no one's injured right now, but
you will hear in your head, is it worth pressing him on?
And Sylvia will respond with, not at the moment. And then she will basically replay what she saw of the scene memory-wise.
Oh. Okay.
And say, I don't think he wants to focus on it.
Could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping with it.
I was surprised he asked for that.
Me too. That worked, so. And then
I think
she goes back to eating.
Yeah. I think after her last message, Sylvia's mind kind of just closes off a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Echo was not maintaining that connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Mortifying ordeal of being known.
But you can continue to eat, fill up with food. I think that's where we'll wrap up, unless there's anything pressing anyone else wants to do.
I think Sylvie will expound upon Joe's ideas for training, as well as in light of potential matchups that we're going up against at some point in the near future, as well as the idea for testing immunity to the pheromones, as well as potentially boosting it so it can combat aroma.
Yeah.
As a
I
was just saying, as
dinner
a
chat.
potential matchup or something to focus on, as well as the training that she knows is already going on with Elena and such.
Okay. Cynthia will add it to the whiteboard that involves training. Not whiteboard, blackboard.
The training board.
Is Joe talking to Echo something you want to take care of tonight?
We can do it next time if you want to. It's fine either way for me.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm spacing on what he wanted to talk to her about, if it was something that I would knew of.
Okay.
The Sylvie thing.
I think it was what
yeah, it
happened with
was
Sylvie.
gonna be the Sylvie thing.
Just why he's all of a sudden cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that probably is gonna go long.
Yeah.
That might go a little long.
Okay.
Next time.
So we can.
Especially because Sylvie did essentially give Joe free reign, except for one topic. So, which may or may not actually stay quiet as it stands.
Wait, above the table, just to clarify, what was the do not talk about this topic?
So Sylvie does not want Joe to tell the girls in any way, shape, or form that she is afraid that breaking the bond will shatter her soul.
Oh, okay.
And the repercussions that could have.
So basically, don't tell them that breaking this pact may actually kill you.
Yeah, basically that Sylvie is seeing herself as limited for this world.
Yeah, no, that Echo, I don't know how Echo would actually deal with that as of right now. If she ever finds out, I'll have to give some thought to how she'd deal with that.
I feel like Echo would not be happy with it no matter what happens.
That is probably a fair assessment.
A lot of
Goes
feelings
not
Also-
very
right now.
happy in general these days.
But before we do our end of session questions, something I would like to share with our audience. At the end of our issue, there is camera pans down once again on the sidewalk where Henry turned around to find Reyes standing behind her. And she just says, Reyes? And he says, hey, I saw you on the news. And she immediately is like, shh, and claps her hand over his mouth, looks across the street at her house, and then glances to the side of the coffee shop. And he's like, get inside, get inside, get inside, and shoves him through the door. Drags him to a table in the back corner. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out if this is like a sensitive topic, but I saw what you were saying on the news about the registry, and I thought that was really kind of awesome. And yeah, I just wanted to let you know. And she's sitting there staring at him like, what? I guess I never realized how kind of like passionate and dedicated you are to this kind of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of it. And then she's just kind of like continues to stare at him, and then he nods and smiles and says, I'll see you around, I guess. And he pushes his chair back and walks out of the coffee shop, and she's just left sitting there staring at his vacant seat. And that's where we'll wrap things up.
You go get a knife.
oh man.
Rhea's better back off. She's accidentally involved in some kind of very strange lesbian polycule. Tangibly related to a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And directly related to one extremely crazy person.
Also, yes.
Yeah, but she
Also-
probably wouldn't murder a random civilian for no good reason. We would just lock him in a cell and never let him see the light of day ever again. We'd feed him, but
That may be
No,
the
that's
one
our
person
friend.
Joe wouldn't oppose that on.
Oh
you
my
find
god.
your own friend, Reyes. It's our friend.
Before we get to end of session questions, earlier for the team move, did that count as a team move or no?
Yeah.
Do we have more team?
Get another
For
team and-
my particular team move on that one, it gives the other person influence over you, and you add a team to the pool. So if you want to shift my labels because you already have influence over me, go for it.
Oh, interesting.
21.
I have a team move too. That's good to know. Take note.
No, we
Read
keep
your
on forgetting
playbook,
about those.
Maria. No, I just want to be a little firefly.
It's
in the middle of the
fine. It's
night.
probably gonna be a fight soon. You can maybe use some team.
That's good
It
because
gets
I got so I took so many advancements for
was gonna
combat.
say.
You're
just
just
in
gonna go
case.
beat up Reyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the combat.
Really dunk on him.
Oh my
Is
god.
Sylvie kind of fully ready to do that at some point? Yes. Yes, she is. But
I'm gonna shift your. I can't shift your superior down because that one's locked, but I would if I could. And your mundane up.
All right, 'tis locked, so it does nothing.
That's right.
Right. I think I'll go first here because I feel like Joe's answer to this is obvious.
Obvious
Grow
ones.
close to the team. Sylvie.
oh,
We have friendship.
Yay!
course, I have no idea where your labels are at right now.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
fine. That makes it better.
Yeah,
The
it's
mystery.
fine.
I was going to use that to clear angry, but after what just happened at the end of that session,
Hey, you don't know what that conversation was about.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
But he
No,
did
but-
see her with Rays.
But
Yes,
Joe-
though.
but
but
you don't
Joe
know what
saw
they
her
were
with a
talking about.
I
A
know,
fool.
which is why angry is staying there, and I'm going to take a potential.
You might have been
That's
able to eavesdrop if you decide to stay.
What if he eavesdropped and heard something he didn't want to hear? Oh, Reyes, I love you so much. Joe sucks. Mwah, mwah,
I
mwah, mwah,
think
mwah.
Yes, that's
in
exactly like that.
Sylvie's
have-
eyes, and this might completely screw you over, but I think she's gonna shift because she's seeing Joe as definitely more of a savior. So she's gonna shift it up and shift Superior down. Because for the once she's starting to see him not taking everything on himself and leaning on other people.
I like that. Unfortunately, Superior is already at the bottom.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
Condition.
Joe thinks he is human trash at this
Poor
moment.
Joe.
Do you
So
have
Issue
anything
from
besides angry?
nope.
Guess
Insecure?
what?
Insecure works for me. All right.
Because he thought things were going well with Henry, and then he saw that.
He did not think things were going well with Henry. He just thought like,
Well, they
at
weren't
this
going
point-
worse.
yeah. It was not on a downward trend, but now that trend just kind of went from this to.
I mean, I can go next, seeing as mine is also, to no surprise, giving Joe influence in light of this session. I am finally clearing Afraid, if only because Sylvie's like, I have people to rely on right now, and I don't really have time to focus on this fear anymore. We need to get shit done.
Focus up.
So
All right. I think Joe would shift. We will say freak down, save your up.
I can do that. So
Because you're less monster and more wayward hero in his vein, in his eyes now. Well done. You have endeared yourself to the antisocial jock.
I'm sensing a trend here because I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna grow closer to Cynthia and vice versa.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Our fun little heart to heart about forgiveness and trust. It's a lot.
right.
I don't know what to move.
While you are thinking about, oh wait, do you decide that first, or do I do the label shift first? Okay. Apologies if this ends in a condition.
That's fine.
Cynthia is this is perhaps more about Cynthia than it is about Elena. But we're going to shift I know what the up is. I'm trying to figure out what the down is.
I have the opposite problem. I figured out the down. I just can't figure out the up.
What if you combine them?
Okay. I think we're going to shift Freak down and Superior up. Because Cynthia's not feeling particularly good about herself or how she's emotionally reacting to it and doesn't know how to change that, but she
This
feels
is so
she
great.
wishes she could be as predisposed to forgiveness as she perceives Elena to be. But
'Cause
alas.
she's too busy disassociating.
Yep.
I'm
I
gonna
love this for
shift
her.
danger down. And I'm mundane up again.
Fun fact, my danger is at a -2 and my mundane is at 2.
Oof.
So
Two conditions.
does that mean
Perfect.
2 conditions?
No, it's
Nope,
just
it
one.
just means
Just the one. Okay.
Okay.
And for both of you, don't forget, before anything is applied, you do get to choose between clearing a condition or potential.
I have no conditions still.
Cynthia's gonna go potential because I don't think she's feeling good right now.
Yeah. I'm
Does Cynthia have
taking
any conditions
potential.
marked?
Afraid.
Okay. I'll let you have your pick based on whatever she's feeling right now. Whatever you think is appropriate.
Guilty, I think. That or insecure, but I think the guilty feels more accurate.
Okay. Did you already say how you were shifting Elena's labels?
Yes.
Yes.
Superior up,
Okay.
freak down.
Okay.
My labels lately have just been kind of like in the middle, which has been very nice.
I've got a whole bunch of extremes.
Gee, I wonder why.
But
But we're
Jo-
gonna have a lesson on disassociation with Elena because that's
as long as Roxy's not there to hear it.
Yeah,
And you're
that's-
Oh my
canonically
God.
now
Main
that's
thing.
how she's been handling all of these problems.
Jenna's gonna come back and be like, "What's wrong with all of you?"
what the fuck happened while I was gone?
They get along. You two keep spacing out.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thursday is our last episode of Clockwork Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
come for the finale.
Yeah.
Donate. Completely fuck it up.
If someone donates $300, I might let Dominic become a werewolf. I might.
I love that.
Oh my
for him.
God.
I might.
Like a
It'll be a
mechanical
Halloween costume.
werewolf or
Clockwork werewolf.
Or
So,
is that
yeah.
spoilers?
that might be spoilers.
Dude, that's
Would be-
such a cool concept.
And now
Like
we
an
know
I
that
am
an
so
organic
cons-
werewolf virus.
Concerned if the clockwork becomes biological enough to pass on as a virus. So
Nanobots.
I would do it.
nanobots.
Nanomachines, son.
So yes, you should definitely join us for that. And if you're not caught up, what are you doing with your life? Because it's been a roller coaster of a time.
yeah, big emotions. So
Watch
many
a
big
polycule
emotions.
fail to happen.
And yeah, Crow's first attempt at a polycule and it went horribly wrong.
You
Oh
just
my
really
God.
gotta learn how to finesse it, you know.
Yep. It's fine. You'll get more practice in the future. You'll
Just
become a pro in
gotta-
no time.
BK do crimes.
Yep.
But I'm inclined to neither of these things.
Well, then
Called
I'll
role playing.
tell you. But if you have missed it, good news. All of our episodes are going to be on YouTube, so you can. And it's 8 sessions, not even that long.
Yeah.
You can watch it in no time.
You can watch it while you're doing cross country. I don't know.
Watch it while you're making Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just don't
Even
let your
though
food
this
burn.
is after Thanksgiving, so
Yeah, watch it while you're making Christmas dinner.
yeah. Like
Do that too.
Watch it while you're
Very
stuffing your
early.
face with Thanksgiving leftovers at 3 a.m. standing in front of your fridge.
please do
Absolutely
not.
do
This
that.
should be like the week after Thanksgiving. You better not have any leftovers in your fridge.
Oh God,
That's
please
fair.
Throw
Fair
them
enough.
out after a week. They
Yeah.
never last longer than a week.
These two.
I've taken food safety courses. They never
What-
last longer than a week. It's a pizza.
What does it
'cause it's
say about me that
indestructible.
my response to that is, well, if you haven't eaten them in a week, you freeze them for later?
That doesn't, as soon as they thaw, the bacteria comes back.
Cool. The riveting content you've come here for.
It's food,
Food
safety.
safety.
Food safety.
Food safety. Turn off your stoves.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll see you. Hopefully, no, we will see you. You will come back here on Thursday for the finale of Clockwork Chronicles. No, I will be very tired because I will be getting, once again, traveling. So I'm gonna be very tired.
Consume caffeine.
I'll be super caffeinated and loopy. It's fine. So come join us for that, and then we'll be back next Sunday with more Jukebox Justice, unless things go horribly wrong, which is
Hopefully not.
there's always an opportunity. So until then, have a good time. Take a nap. Eat a snack.
Yes.
And happy
Yeah.
holidays to all of you who celebrate.
Yes.
Otherwise, self-care, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do
also
that
do that.
regardless of everything.
Yes,
If you're in a place
always
with
self-care.
snow, go out and make a snowman. Making snowmen is always a fun activity.
Extreme self-care. That's what we're here for.
Except if you're going outside
Spelled with
making
an
a
X.
snowman,
Extreme.
please dress warm. No hypothermia.
Extreme.
That's part of the fun.
The S is a dollar sign. Is self-care.
Extreme self-care.
With a dollar sign.
Lost the
instead of
point
an
at some
Sign
point.
instead of an
I-
S.
We have lost our flippin' minds.
Charlie
The
needs
hive
to go
mind
to
is
bed.
experiencing an error. I think we need a soft reboot.
Turn it off
Yes.
and then off again. Turn it off and then off.
Behold.
Turn it off and
You
off
know,
again.
And now there's googly eyes and a finger.
Yeah, no.
I have a drawer full of googly eyes.
Okay. For real this time. Extreme self-care. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.